Room. I'm your host, Katia Trevino. Today's guest is Mendiola-Macias. She is one of the founders of EM3 Hope Foundation. Macias and her husband suffered through a tragedy that changed their lives forever, which later led them to advocate mental health awareness in young adults. I give you a warm welcome, Mendiola-Macias.
Hi, my name is Mendiola-Macias, and I'm the founder of EM3 Hope Foundation, and I'm here to talk to you about what our foundation is all about. So, my son was 16. I know he had talked about it before, but he was pretty much like your average teenager, right? He was really good in school, struggled here and there with like turning in homework and stuff like that, but nothing major. He was a good kid. He didn't have any of the warning signs, which is probably the scariest thing. So it was 2018 when we lost him. And it was a really big shock, mostly because I guess you don't expect it from somebody who's doing okay, right? Or you assume is doing okay. And that day, he seemed fine. I mean, the whole week, he had just had a job interview. The week before, he had gotten the job, so he had a job lined up for summer. He had plans. He was going to get a car. So that eliminates one of the warning signs. He's planning for his future, so you don't expect anything. He's not having any serious struggles. He's not being bullied at school. Nobody expected it. Nobody saw it coming. Not his friends, not his teachers. That's something that I kept on asking everybody who would I'd come across my path. Be like, did you notice anything? Was anything different? Did he say anything? And everybody just kept on saying, yeah, looking for answers, because you do. And it's a constant question, or every day. It's like, what could I have done, right? What didn't I do? What could I have done? So it's hard to accept, and it's something with suicide that, I don't know if he saw it coming. I know I didn't. I know nobody around him saw it coming. I just wish that he would have told somebody something. Anybody, And I'm sure that his friends struggle just as much as I do, because as a teenager, you may not tell your parents everything, but you tell your friends everything.
Yeah.
They're actually the ones who came to my house. It was midnight and I got a knock on my door and they said, Elias just posted this message and we're worried, and where is he at? And I was like, he's upstairs, he's fine. And we found him later. He was, he had actually called the police and told them, there's been a suicide, and then he hung up. So everything changes immediately. And it was shattering. Like, I always thought it's going to be the scariest, right? Like, that's the worst thing that can ever happen to you. And you imagine the pain and you're like, but it's worse. Really, it's worse. I can't explain it, but it's worse. And it doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. I knew the exact moment that I knew I had to do something. I had gotten off the phone with a really good friend of mine, and she told me she had spoke to some counselors and that they had said that they were just overwhelmed, right? We're overwhelmed with kids, we're overwhelmed with, college applications, and I remember being really mad. I remember I was mad and I sat there, and I mean, not against anybody, who's gone through it, because at that moment I knew how crushing it was, right? But I remember thinking, I have to do something. And I was mad at everybody who hadn't, right? So at that point, all I felt was anger. I guess it was that stage, like anger. And I remember my husband walked in and I was alone, and he really hadn't left me alone much since we had lost my son. And I was just quiet, and he came and I told him, I'm gonna do something. It's gonna be hard and it's gonna hurt, but if somebody had done something before, then maybe Elias would still be here. So every time I get asked, like when you call to speak, it's hard, and I know it's gonna be hard, and I know I'm gonna struggle, but I think I think maybe if somebody had done something, and think, what if? I don't want to live with that what if anymore. I have to live with that with him. So I don't want to ask myself, what if I had talked to them? What if there was a chance that I would have reached them? I think right now what's hard for kids is social media. It's such a burden, because you see social media and you can go through people's, Instagrams and Facebooks, and it's like an album. It's like happy. Everything's happy. And you're not going to put when you have a bad day, or, when you wake up with the zit, or you're a broken heart, or, you got in a fight with your boyfriend, or,
you publicize what
you want to be seen, right? And I think we need to step back and tell our kids and realize that, hey, that's not real life. Real life is struggle, and real life is hard. It's hard, and everybody has a different story. I have my story, and I never expected this to happen. But I feel like the broken pieces of ourselves and how we put those back together is what makes us stronger, and what makes us
who we are,
human. Yeah. If you think about it, and I think about this quite often, like think about all the people you admire. They might be famous people, or politicians, or or singers, or they all had their struggles most of the time. You really don't think of somebody who had it easy and made it easy. You think of it and you're like, wow, they really had a really tough time, or and they still did it.
Yeah. It was like it almost made them stronger.
Yeah. So I think that's the hard part, telling our kids, hey, life is gonna be hard. You're gonna have a broken heart. There's gonna be, you might not always get the job. You're not always gonna be the fastest. You're not always gonna be the prettiest. You're not always gonna be the smartest. But that's what makes you unique. And letting them know that it's okay to feel a certain way, certain time. You're not always gonna feel happy. 1 in 4 people struggle with mental illness at least once in their lifetime. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how many people are in your family. Or think of, go through your phone, count your, contacts. How many people are struggling right now that you know? So it doesn't make you different. It makes you unique at that one time. I think that the struggle is trying to realize what part of me is making me struggle, and then moving on, to kind of fix that struggle. And getting help. My son, I don't know if he was scared. I thought, we were a pretty open family about talking about stuff like that. I mean, I had mentioned to you my degree is in psychology. So it was kind of like a slap in the face. Like, I should have seen this coming. Like, how did I, as his mom, miss it? Not only was I his mom, but I wanted to help people and I couldn't help him. So it's scary because it can hit you out of nowhere. And I don't think it's like, no, my child's fine. They would never do that, because we never in a million years imagined it. They would never do that. It's just being prepared. Why do you fence a pool? Because you want to protect your children. you know, it's just being prepared, what if, and having that discussion. Like sitting down and actually telling them, I want you to know if there's a time that you feel like this, if you ever feel like this, like the world is closing in on you, that you can't see the light, that things feel hopeless, that you want to hurt yourself, please tell me. I need you to tell me. And then it's also accepting the fact that when they tell you, it might not be easy for you to hear.
Yeah.
And then you immediately feel like, wait a minute, why? You know, not getting in defensive mode, right? Where you're like, what do you mean? You have everything, right? As a parent, that's difficult, right? Because automatically you feel like a failure. What did I do? You know, I'm doing everything possible. And now you're telling me this?
So we kind of turn it around and make it about ourselves.
About ourselves, right? So I found that, you know, when this happened, it was constant reading, right? Like reading and information and just, it's stopping at that moment and that impulse to not make it about you and be like, okay, what can we do to fix this? And it's about them, and stopping and telling them we can fix this and I'm here for you and we're gonna get through this. So just like the stigma of seeing like a counselor or a psychologist, when you think about it, you go to the doctor once a year, right, to get a physical to make sure you're fine. You go to the gym to, you know, be in good health, right? And usually if you end up in the ER because something drastic happens, it's because you weren't, going your physicals. If you're 20 pounds overweight, it's because you weren't taking care of your health. It just escalates, right? So it's the same thing with mental health. You know, if you kind of create this wall and this barrier, at some time the dam's gonna break.
Yeah.
So it's like upkeep. You know, what am I gonna do today? Or if you feel exhausted, okay, am I taking care of myself? Like, what's going on? Is it too much screen time? Because I find that.
Yes, that can be very depressing sometimes.
Yeah, even for adults. You know, I find like, I hate to say it's a necessary evil sometimes, you know, like social media, but I shut mine off periodically and it's just like, that's it, a cleanse, like a social media cleanse. And I realized how much less stressed I am. And yeah, I'll go on here and there, but it's just like a cleanse of, you're bombarded with constant information and constant expectations.
Yes, exactly.
Of what you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be and why. In the world, you know, every experience is the end of the world. You know, your first breakup is heart-wrenching, and you know, if your parents are going through a divorce, you know, it's maybe feels like, but everything can be fixed, you know? Unless you close a book, you know, you can't turn the page, so you need to just keep turning the page and go to the next chapter. And I think that's what's so difficult for, you know, young people to understand that, you know, we can fix it. I applaud like teens who have been like, you know what, I did this, it was hard, you know, I've struggled and I'm fine. Because to actually say that you needed help for some reason is socially frowned upon right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like being independent and being able to do it all on your own. We can't. You know, human nature is, we're supposed to help each other. You know, you're made to have family, you're made to have friends. You know, you need to talk to somebody. So I think that's the difficult part in itself. Just like reaching out. So I knew at that time, you know, sitting at that couch, that no matter how difficult it was, I was gonna do it because I was gonna do it for him. You know, I was gonna do it for him because that meant that whatever he suffered, whatever he went through wasn't in vain. And we learned from it. And that's what life is about, you know, learning about or using the experiences that have happened to you and being able to positively impact those around you. How can I use this terrible thing that happened to me to enrich the lives of people around me? You know, to make it easier for them so that they can learn. You know, so that's why we started the foundation. Like he said, it was like really, it was at that moment. You know, it was at that moment that I knew that I had to do something, and it kind of catapulted to being a way to, you know, the love I can't give him. And
I'm so sorry.
the love I can't give him, I pour into the foundation. You know, I pour myself into, you know, trying to reach anybody who may be struggling and telling them it's gonna be okay. Like, it's hard, but you know, it's gonna be okay, and you're gonna get through this, and you need to see past this struggle right now. Stop and breathe and know that I'm gonna do this because people have been here before and they've done it, and I can do it too. But it's hard. It's hard when you're struggling with mental illness. And then also, I hate the word mental illness. Doesn't it sound like horrible? It's like, but I'm sick. But I wish it'd be like mental health. You know, it's just mental health is so much better. You know, what am I doing to keep me mentally healthy? And just find stuff. You know, it's different for everybody. Some people work out. Some people find, you know, painting, you know, writing is extremely therapeutic for some people. Anything that keeps you going, start a new project. You know, find a friend to talk to, somebody to talk to. But there is a difference between saying, like, being positive and being strong emotionally and knowing there's a point, hey, this isn't working. I need to see a doctor, or I need to see a counselor. And a lot of people are scared because they think, but I don't want to be on medicine for the rest of my life. Your doctor just wants you to have you on medication for the rest of your life, and neither do your, you know, therapist. And usually there's an end goal. You know, it's you go to the doctor and, hey, you have high blood pressure or you have diabetes. Okay, we're going to put you on medication for this time period. You're going to follow this diet. You're going to follow this exercise regimen. And then our goal is to have you off of these medications in a certain amount of time. It's the same thing with your mental health. You know, at that point in time, you may need the medication. But that does not mean it's the end of the world and that you're going to be on it forever. It's just that time.
So I'm back here with Laura. We just finished doing her haircut and you look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
But we're gonna go ahead and have her explain a little bit more about EM3 Hope Foundation and what the organization does.
So we are all about educating the community on mental health awareness as well as the stigma associated with suicide. We want to educate everyone to kind of talk to your children, educate yourself, educate your children, educate those around you and your family to know the signs of, you know, when somebody may be weary or, you know, dealing with mental health issues and really getting ahead of them before they become an issue and something tragic happens. That's our goal. We started in 2018. We've had 2 5K runs. With COVID, things changed, and now we're doing parades. And we had a pretty successful parade last year. We went all the way from the city of Sullivan. We headed east towards Palmview. So we're doing the same thing. Yeah, it's a pretty long parade. It's pretty long, but we just do a drive, and everybody decorates their cars. We're handing out bags, so it's fun. A way to kind of let the community know that, you know, we do exist. There are resources available for anybody who may need them, and it's just getting people to kind of be aware that this is an issue and we do need to take care of it. So we will have a parade starting, it's in May 27th, and you're welcome to join us. You can find our information. I think Kathy will be posting it on on the credits. So you can join us, and we'll be happy to have you. It's a rally on May 27th. It's a Thursday. It will end in Pompey, and we'll be having live music. Vendors are also welcome to join us, so you can sign up through our resources as well. So we do have vendor spaces available. So anybody who's wanting to join us, this is a great cause, and it works hand in hand. So you're able to promote your business, and you're also able to show others that you're working with the community to do something that is important to you and important to those around you. So I think it's a great opportunity for any small business.
Yes.
So you can find our resources also on our webpage. Our foundation is based solely on donations. So sometimes we don't get sufficient donations, so we like to make fundraisers or host fundraisers. This is our shirt this year. It's okay not to be okay, and we will be selling them at our rally this year. We do have other merch available as well.
I think it's so important to raise awareness about mental health, especially in the youth community, because as adults, we know that there's help out there. We know that, but for some kids, they just don't know who to go to or who to reach out for. And that's what you guys do. You guys give the kids the opportunity to know where they can find help.
Yes, that's exactly what we do.
Well, thank you again. And to all the viewers, if you are looking for information for a loved one, or perhaps you feel like you need help and you need to reach out, I will be linking all the information on this post. And this concludes the Beauty Parlor Room. We'll see you on the next episode.